Dynamic stability could be one of the best ways for you to suck the stress right out of your joints and get it into the muscles you're trying to work to make your workouts much more safer, more comfortable, and a hell of a lot more effective for building muscle and strength. So what exactly is it? Well, remember, stability and balance are two different things, and people get them confused all the time. But think about it this way. Balance is like when you're trying to balance a stick or something in your palm, right? You have no control. There's no strength involved in this. It's just passive and reactive to whatever is going on. So you're just trying to maintain your position in space. It's not a bad thing, but it doesn't really do anything for your strength and conditioning. Stability, on the other hand, is like taking that stick and grabbing onto it and holding it fast. So if there's any forces that come against it, like if someone's hitting the stick, you can control it with your strength. And once you have your isometric stability, then you can get your dynamic stability. So it's like going back to where you're holding that stick. Isometric is holding it. Dynamic stability is the ability to control its position on purpose. You go one side, then back up, then the other side, then back up. And you do the same thing with your major stabilizers in your body, particularly your scaps and your hips. So when you do your push-up, when you come up to the top position, push your shoulder blades all the way forward, slightly internally rotate your arms so the elbows are pointing a little tiny bit out to the outside, and your scaps are ever so slightly elevated by like 1/8 of an inch, okay? So that's one position. Now, as you come down into your push-up, reverse it. So you have external rotation, you have retraction with your shoulders, and you have depression in your shoulder blades. So it's like you're screwing everything in on the way down. And then you reverse the process on the way up. You can do the same thing with your pull-ups and your rows, right? Reverse the same process when you're doing rows, right? So your shoulders protract, slightly elevate, and you have internal rotation at the bottom. Then external rotation, retraction, and depression as you pull yourself up. With pull-ups, you can have slightly internal rotation at the bottom. This is one of the reasons why some people are like, you have to dead hang to make the pull-up effective. No, you don't. But the reason why dead hanging feels harder has nothing to do with the dead hang. It's because you're coming low enough to engage a little bit of that internal rotation. And then when you come back up, externally rotate. You're screwing your arms in. I've talked about that for years, about how that's a good way to protect your elbows from tendonitis as you come up. And then you have ever so slightly the reverse on the way down. With dips, you can have your shoulders down and packed on the way down, and as you come up, slightly protract and internally rotate your arms at the top. Very, very subtle. I'm trying to exaggerate it here for the sake of this video, but for the most part, it's not something you're really gonna see on a visual spectrum, but you're gonna really feel it to a large degree. So play around with these dynamic stability techniques in your upper body exercises. Let me know if you have questions down below, and check out the other videos I made for simple ways to improve basic exercises up here. Thanks much for watching. Be fit, live free.